Hellmaster EX. This award-winning system features the first single-engine joystick with digital electric steering and new autopilot capability. See Hellmaster EX in action at a Yamaha Outboard dealer or visit YamahaOutboards.com.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
So July and August of 2024, nothing but south winds. That means upwelling, the cold upwelling. We got the bad drifts. We got a lockjaw fluke. And then early September comes and we have nothing but east-northeast winds in our faces every single day. But fear not, my friends, fear not. Because we've seen this before and we know the potential. What can happen when those onshore winds finally lay down and the first day or two of offshore winds, particularly west-northwest, kicks our fall striper run right in the keister and gets everything underway? I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. It's Thursday, October 3rd, and we're looking at a midweek forecast from the National Weather Service where it does appear that those easterlies, northeasterlies, those onshore winds are laying down. And if you look at Friday into Saturday, light southwest overnight Friday with northwest winds on Saturday morning. Now the high tide out front for this Saturday, depending on where you are, from Sandy Hook to Cape May Point, for the most part, 9:30, 9:45, 10 a.m. Saturday morning. And it is the very first weekend of October. If you think back to the very first weekend of October 2022, things looked very much the same. Multiple weeks of onshore winds and waves and passing tropical blows, followed by a little touch of northwest, and then bedlam ensued, primarily Ocean and Monmouth County. First weekend of October 2022, flashback, west-northwest winds. Nick Diufema hit a very good fish in the wash, as many did. Just not a lot of people shared their catches because, well, it happened. It broke open. Ostensibly, the easterly winds pushed the striped bass to the west onto the shores of New Jersey, and then those very first offshore winds came up, bunker-nosed up against the wind, right along the beach, and the very first buffalo stampede of the season was officially underway. So where were you 2 years ago this weekend when the winds turned offshore that first Saturday in October? I know where I was. I was in the Poconos at a friend's house, catching largemouth bass from the dock as people started texting me that it's on. But this is a video I shot of what it looked like by Monday morning in northern Ocean County by the time I had gotten back. And the reason I bring up my personal travel plans in this Monday video and what it looks like after you miss it, well, the fact is, I'm going to be back at my buddy's Pocono Lake House again this Saturday. And with northwest winds in our forecast, and the black cloud, the albatross, the broken mirror, the black cat, the doomsday scenario guy, the nuclear option who blows up everything else, I'll be 120 miles west of any semblance of a surf bite on Saturday. So I dare say things are lined up perfectly well with going back to 2022. I'm not around, so it's got to happen. I don't make guarantees. That's ridiculous. But my prediction for the Buffalo Stampede stands. If the fall run of striped bass at the Jersey Shore is stuffed into a 55-gallon drum and sealed with a lead ring around the rim, I dare say that barrel is beginning to swell with the seals dangerously close to being blown off. Now, I highly recommend you pick up the October edition of the Fisherman magazine. That's the one with Dean Ween, Mickey Melchiondo, guitar player from Ween, and Les Claypool from Primus. They were fishing with Captain Ricky Donofrio, Jamie B. out of Shark River last October, and that's about when it happens. So you find in the table of contents in the New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition, 2 articles in particular you should be poring over in the next 2 days. Page 28, Shell Karras, who was there in 2022, when I shot that video on the beach, you can see him in that video if you go back and scroll back and say, oh yeah, there's Shell right there. Well, he did not miss Saturday's Buffalo Stampede. He gives us a look in the October edition at what's in his plug bag to start the month of October. But first up in the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition is Jenny Ackerman's first alarm striped bass piece on page 16. It was the 10th of October, 2023, when Jenny bucktailed this trophy striped bass along the same stretch of Central Jersey, Ocean County beaches, where the buffalo were roaming this first weekend of October in 2022. The thing is, you can wait for the reports to come in or be the very first buffalo hunter in the Stampede and make those reports, perhaps as of Saturday morning. By beach or by boat, I'm reminded that 14-year-old Dom Salvatore and 12-year-old Luke Sperduto got into the action the day prior to Jenny's first caught bass of October in 2023. These boys were on the hunt on October 9th, 2023, on the Troll off the Highlands aboard the Long Shot out of Highlands. Again, the key is gearing up and being ready for whenever it happens. I could be right for Saturday, I might be wrong, who knows? But when things get hot and heavy, you want to be all ready. You want to have all your rods and reels ready to go, your plug bag stacked, those 5 essentials that Shell has recommended. Make sure there are no leaks in your waders. Get everything ready to roll. So last Thursday, Jenny and I were up on Long Island for the Huntington Hilton Big Extravaganza, the Fisherman magazine's inshore, offshore, and surf show. We talked to a lot of anglers about the fall run. I got to talk to Alberto. I talked to Dave Anderson in New England about what's happening there, and Matt Broderick about what's happening along the south shore of Long Island. Leaves me feeling very optimistic. But one thing that Jenny did is she got a chance to speak with several manufacturers and tackle reps about things that you might want to make sure you have when the buffalo come roaming home.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Today I have a very special episode for you guys. We're here at the Fisherman show in Long Island. That's right, I'm out here in Long Island. Look at this picture, Montauk right behind me. But we're gonna walk around and we're gonna check out all of the awesome vendors that are showcasing new products that you guys need for the fall run. So let's go and let's check out some vendors.
Hi, my name is Josh, and this is a Tsunami booth,
and I'm his dad, and we're getting ready for the fall run, and today we're getting at the show, and we're showcasing our surf top, definitely a vital piece of equipment for being out there in the surf, and with the weather we had this past week, you know that you need it. Showcasing our new surf series. We have 2 rods in the series, Forged and Salt X. Very similar rods. I'm going to show the 8.7s right now. Just a color difference and titanium guides on the Salt X, and we're doing Fuji K-frame on the Forged. Where we really step it up is in the 9.7 and the 10.7 in the Salt X. We're using the Fuji concept guides. These are the best guide and the guide layout for distance casting. So for getting outside the bar, when you need to, this is going to be a winner here. You're going to get extra distance, no doubt about it.
Welcome to the Z-Belts booth. You guys all know us. We have all your fall surf casting essentials in stock, ready to ship. If you can't make it to a show, go on the website. We're doing semi-frequent sales. Stop in and check out the belts or any of our plug bag options. We have the 2-tube. We've got 3 tubes in both black and tan. We have the large 2-tube with the 4-inch by 8-inch diameter tubes in them, and then we have a full line of 6, 9, and 11-inch single tube pouches. The 11-inch pouches are great for big needles and metal lips. We also have our pliers sheets, our dive knives, and our most recent addition to the lineup is the 2-in-1 cooler backpack combo. And that's going to be a cooler on the bottom with a roll top dry bag integrated into the top, so you can bring your beverages and your snacks in the bottom, and then a spare change of dry clothes, or anything you want to keep dry in the top. It makes a great companion for long beach walks or trips on the boat.
So keep in mind, during the fall blitz season, if you break a guide, break a tip, come on and see us at Bob's Bait and Tackle. I'll be able to fix it for you and get you back out there as soon as possible.
Hi, I'm Al Gagg, owner of Gagg's Grabbers Lures. 47 years I've been in this business. I know the fall's approaching pretty fast, so here's what you got to do. Start off with a twitched eel, just like this. During the day, maybe not so dark of a night, moon out and everything. You want to throw this, or if it gets dark, no moon, right here, black purple. You'll increase your catches, you'll have a great fall.
I'm Chris Gatley with Mustad. For the fall striped bass run that's about to come down the beaches here, there's two options for you for your striper plugs. If you're a treble hook person, we have a 3X, 4X, and a 5X in what we call the jaw lock. This happens to be the 1/0 size 3X strong jaw lock, and that's your model number JL73NP. If you're in the conservation mode and you want a single hook, we have the Ruthless Inline in our Alpha Point series, and this is to replace trebles, and you can get various sizes. Here we have a size 6 all the way up to a 6/0. Coming this fall, we're going to release the Ultra Nor from Mustad. It's in the Ultra Point series. The big difference between the Ultra Nor versus what you're accustomed to is in the forging process. This is a new proprietary forging. If you take a traditional forged hook, like this one, it's flat on the side. The Ultra Nor series now has the forge stamped into the metal. It pushes the adjacent metal out and creates an I-beam in your hook. So you're going to have a stronger hook at a thinner diameter. We have a ton of different styles, and they're available later this fall.
So hey, I'm Larry Welcome. This is my display of my wood lures. It goes by the company name of Sporting Wood. And normally, most people know me from North Bar Tackle. That's my plastic line of lures. But for this show and for some of the other shows, this is my display of my wood lures. So we have bottle darters, we have bottle swimmers, we have metal lip Dannies, we have darters, and we have junior bottle darters. And so a lot of people really enjoy the wood over plastic. They like to get a lure that's made by somebody that they know, that's made in the United States, and that they can talk with. And
The fall runs around the corner, and so is the VS50X2. Completely machine waterproof, 35 inches per turn, 25 pounds of drag. Awesome little reel.
We literally have so many awesome vendors here. There's a ton of just legendary fishermen here in the crowd. Definitely a show you don't want to miss out on. So if you're not here this year and you're watching the video, I expect to see you guys here next year, especially to come to my seminar and everyone else's seminar. They're awesome seminars, surf, inshore, offshore fishing. We have it all at the Fisherman Magazine show. And catch next week's open boat, because I'm standing up on the stage here looking at the crowd, and I see some legendary fishermen out here that I think I'm going to interview and give you guys some motivational quotes to kick off your fall run season. So let's go.
Get ready for the ultimate powerboating experience at the Annapolis Powerboat Show. Explore the latest models, gear, and accessories. Fun for the whole family with live demos, expert advice, and more. Your adventure starts here.
With 3 convenient in-water locations, Waterfront Marine has one of the largest inventories on the East Coast of premium brand boats. Their exceptional service department, fully stocked parts department, and ship store will ensure smooth sailing after the sale. Visit our 3 locations or online.
So this past weekend, we also had that Jersey Shore Boat Sale and Expo out in Lakewood. Rainy, windy, yes indeed, but it didn't deter everyone from heading out in search of a new boat. Now, the Fernandez family stopped by the table, picked up a copy of the Fisherman Magazine on Saturday, said hello to Jenny, and then no boat, no problem. They ended up going to the Shark River Inlet Rocks. The Fernandez clan did pretty well with Tog. Javier here had them up to 18 inches. So think sand crabs still available. Those greenies are in most shops. Tog jig or traditional rig. Looks like Javier was using a traditional Tog rig. But 1 fish bag limit, you can have at them. There are, of course, for a lot of the jetty jocks in particular, a lot of exotics still in the mix right now, especially with that heave. Perhaps that heave has pushed some of those offshore exotics, enjoying the warm temperatures offshore, off the beach, but they came in the inlets to kind of get away from the heave. I heard from hardcore jetty jock Tyler Casero earlier this summer. He had shared with me a photo of a juvenile Goliath grouper that he caught at the Jersey Shore. I think I spoke to you guys about that. Well, he's still jumping all along those jetty rocks, and he sent a photo of this, which looks to be a juvenile Jack Crevalle as well. He caught it on a paddle tail last week. And then Dr. Adam Aguiar from Stockton University, he's always keeping me up to date with his students are doing. Extra credit, it would seem. That's the class I'd like. I have no class. If I had class, it'd be Adam's class. Anyway, Adam Grodzinski got this juvenile snowy grouper at Barnegat Lighthouse the other day. So again, when it comes to saltwater fishing, you never know until you go. By the way, mentioning Stockton University, if you pick up that October edition of the Fisherman magazine, page 7, there's a news brief there. Dr. Dana Christensen, she's an adjunct professor there at Stockton. She's doing a cool survey which could provide us as anglers an opportunity to share our wants, our needs, and our opinions, perhaps more directly bringing the science folks, the researchers, because Dana understands what our concerns are. So she wants to share our concerns with the researchers. This is a really cool opportunity to get our opinions in front of researchers. Maybe we can bridge that research stakeholder divide. Anyway, it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete the survey. You can take your camera phone and point it at the QR code on this video. And of course, if you're watching this video on your phone, you're not going to be able to do that. So you can point it to page 7. Take that survey. It only takes about 15 minutes. You'll find it over at thefisherman.com as well. We are back in black. Black sea bass it is. The new fall season at the Jersey Shore opened up on Tuesday. The first 10 fish, 12.5 inches for the month of October. Then it goes to 15 fish as of November 1st. Now you got a lot of party boats, head boats, charter boats for hire guys up and down the beach, up and down the coast, every port. Monmouth, Ocean, Atlantic, and Cape May County, they're out there looking for black sea bass right now. You can find that full listing in that October edition in our report section. It's like a yellow pages for all the available boats at the Jersey Shore. Find your head boat or for hire guy going out during the month of October. Tough sailing to start the week, but things are improving greatly. And yeah, I got to tell you, that first week or two, when black sea bass opens up in fall and everybody starts targeting them, it's pretty much dropping reel. It's also the time when we usually get some of those bigger biscuits, the knotheads, the humpbacks, the giants that we see on the leaderboard in the Fisherman Magazine's Dreamboat Fishing Challenge, which is completely devoid. I think there's 2 weigh-ins right now. It's strange at this point, but if you're looking to register a fish as a subscriber to the Fisherman Magazine and the Dreamboat Contest in hopes of winning that Steiger, well, sea bass might be the ticket. Let's take a look at the leaderboard now, the Dreamboat leaderboard, because I'm also looking at the Coastal Kayak Clash, and it looks like we have a points change where the leader, it's a little bit in question, which is good news for you, Bob Wagner, New Jersey subscriber in the Coastal Kayak Clash, because, well, that's what happens. Leaderboards and standings, they change all the time.
We had 2 entries in the Coastal Kayak Clash this week. Todd Treones had a 22.5-inch Todd, which changed up the leaderboard a bit, and Mark Kinski had a 25-inch Bonito in the hardtail category. Todd Treones picked up 2 points, and both Bob Wagner and Justin Oser lose a point, but are tied for first. To be part of the Coastal Kayak Clash, and for your chance to win an Old Town Sportsman PDL 120 fully outfitted by yakattack.com and other great prizes, you must be a Fisherman subscriber. For all the details and how to enter and the rules, visit thefisherman.com. And now the Dream Boat Fishing Challenge entries for the week. We have New England subscriber Eric Husbo of Falmouth, Mass. with his second entry of the competition, a 15.2-pound bluefish, placing him 5th in the bluefish category. Next is Norman Bouchard of Marston Mills, Mass. also with his second entry, with a bluefish coming in at 15.1 pounds, putting him in 6th in the bluefish division. LI subscriber Joseph Bates of Little Neck, New York, with his first of the challenge, a sea robin weighing in at 2.87, taking the 3rd spot in the sea robin category. Kyle Kraus and Scott Waterman are tied at 16. Ahmed Solomon has 18 points. That keeps him in 1st place. There are 8 weeks left, still plenty of time to enter your fish to win that Steiger Craft powered by Yamaha and many other great prizes. But you must be a Fisherman subscriber to enter. For all the details and how to enter and the rules, visit thefisherman.com.
Some events to tell you about at the Jersey Shore this weekend. A New Jersey masterpiece hits the water for the very first time, and a record-breaking announcement from the Barnegat area. Monster fish to tell you about. A coveted world record. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. But first, I kind of want to know what I'm going to face when I head to the Poconos this weekend. For a full freshwater rundown from the Poconos throughout New Jersey, let's check in with the Pocono Outdoors guy, George Schauer.
Well, hey, Jim, October is here and the fall bite is on. We've been talking a couple weeks now about trout, and it's certainly beginning to turn on fire. I checked in with my good friend Eric Goodstall, former director at Trout Unlimited here in Broadheadsville. He was telling me the brown trout bite now is really hot. A couple of things he's doing on the fly. He said fall right now is all about the woolly buggers and the wet flies, casting them downstream. So try to get a bit on that. He said if you want to try the dry fly bite, the October caddis is the way to go. So a couple of tips there if you guys want to get on some trout with that fly. Also, he said streamers will be doing good for you if you want to get out in that smallmouth bite, and even those river stripers on a fly can be quite exciting. So a couple of options there for you guys. Also, we had Jen Wong and Joe Santiago. They checked in. Well, they were catching trout as well over in Round Valley, dragging some spoons low and slow, getting themselves on a couple of nice brown trout, even a few of those lake trout there over in New Jersey. So some good fishing there. Don't forget, guys, cooler weather is also prime for those stripers. We had Will Gruber up on Wallenpaupack showing off a couple heat catches up there, doing real well on the pack. Also in Beltsville, Nanakamixon as well. A couple of great lakes there. Local, we get out and get those stripers, and don't forget the Delaware River. That's cool as well. Smallmouth are on fire. Also those stripers, we've been seeing them being caught pretty regular over the past several weeks. So lots of options for you this week, guys. I hope you get out and get on them. But from Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
Now, in last week's video, I showcased a Barnegat Bay trip with my good friend, Captain Dave DeGennaro, captain of the High Flyer. Dave also runs the Philadelphia Fishing Show in February. So yeah, I was working. Dave and I were talking about the seminar lineup in February. Yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. Anyway, we were targeting weekies, cheddar crab, and grass shrimp. But we also caught blues, a perch, a grunt, a doggy, and a blowfish. So cool. Potpourri, variety. That's what you can expect, whether you're chumming with grass shrimp or get one of those frozen chum logs right now and going out with high-low rigs and looking for blowfish. Well, last week after the video, Dave let me know that he has broken the blowfish world record, the coveted IGFA world record for blowfish, northern puffer to be more specific. Not to be confused with a smooth puffer fish. The smooth puffer fish is not edible. You don't want to touch that. But the northern puffer, aka blowfish, that is the target for chum pot fishing right now, and it is a delicious Back Bay treat for the table. Now, look at this monster. Dave is beaming with pride, clearly. He knew it was bigger than most blowfish. He took to a quick tape of the fish to register the girth, which honestly, I'm not sure if you take the girth on an inflated blowfish or a deflated blowfish. But it doesn't matter because it's all about the scale weight. So Dave brought this catch back to Creekside Outfitters in Waretown for an official weigh-in. And this Brobdingnagian blowfish tipped the scale at 1.21 pounds. Gathered the leader, collected the certified weigh-in, and all the details of his catch, which have been sent to the IGFA headquarters in Florida for review. And then the largest blowfish ever recorded on hook and line during the recorded history of mankind was promptly released back into the Barnegat Bay. It was kept alive in a bucket at Creekside, care of an Ingle aerator that Dave uses primarily to keep his peanut bunker alive, but he was good for his record catch as well. But Dave, I got to tell you, before you go getting that sequin jacket with the giant blowfish patch with the world record blowfish record holder emblazoned on the back, this is just a rumor, but we've heard that there was a larger blowfish caught since then. Larger one, 1.37 pounds. Which would eclipse Dave's by over 1/10 of a pound. That too was caught on Barnegat Bay. It's what I've heard. Can't confirm it. It's just a rumor. We shall see. Bottom line, if you're looking for blowfish, now's the time. In Barnegat Bay, head on out to see Tom P. and Liza and the crew at Creekside Outfitters in Waretown because they can get you all geared up. Barnegat Bay is loaded with blowfish. We were talking about the croakers earlier this season. I'm sure there's still croakers down in the Absecon Bay and Great Bay area as well. But that panfish fishery is fantastic. Frozen chum log, little bits of fish bite, little bits of clam on small hooks. Now's the time you catch some puppy drum and who knows what other exotics in the mix, especially when we're talking about Goliaths and snowy groupers and Jack Crevalle. From our calendar of events in the Fisherman magazine, there's one date that's wrong in the October edition, but it doesn't matter. The date is passed anyway, and that's fisheries management, so it doesn't really matter to us, especially since the real fisheries management meeting coming up in October is later in October when the ASMFC and the Mid-Atlantic Council get together and talk about our fate for black sea bass, and the ASMFC is going to be looking at striped bass as well. I've got more on that in the next couple of weeks, but you can find details in the glossy section of the Fisherman magazine about what we're looking at in black sea bass and that potential for 20% cutback. But again, back to the calendar of events for this weekend. There are several local boat dealers that are heading south to Annapolis, Maryland, for that big boat show. That's the Power Boat Show out of Annapolis. Makes a great day trip. If you've never run down there and walked the docks of Annapolis, it's a really cool trip. You've also got the 76th annual Long Beach Island Fishing Club tournament. That's being held on Saturday there at club headquarters in Harvey Cedars. That's an ASAC event, Association of Surf Angling Clubs. It's open to teams and individuals. That also coincides with the 70th annual LBI Surf Fishing Classic, aka the Derby. That kickoff is on Saturday. It runs for 9 weeks. There's a free seminar being held on Saturday morning, bright and early, at the Chip Bottom Firehouse. You can get all the details on the seminar and the 9-week tournament by going over to lbisfc.com. You can also visit Surf City Bait and Tackle, Fish Heads in Chip Bottom, or Jingles out there in Beach Haven. Also, on Sunday, the American Anglers hold their annual Surfcasters event in Seaside Park, where you can gear up, of course, at Betty and Nick's in Seaside Park, or at Grumpy's in Seaside Park, or before you hit the Causeway Bridge there at Hook House Bait and Tackle in Toms River. Go to AmericanAnglerUS.com if you'd like to register for this Sunday's event. The calendar itself turns from September to October. We've gone from summer to fall. The Halloween decorations are starting to pop up throughout my neighborhood and businesses all over the place. And of course, the fragrance of pumpkin spice is everywhere you go. That way, for that reason, our candle of the month recognizes what's really most important to a surfcaster's sense. For bunker chasing runners and gunners at the Jersey Shore, hoping to live line and pop your way into some striped bass, let's hope this is the weekend. But bunker schools are around, and we're hoping that this is all about it. Where's my candle? I don't have my bunker candle right now, but breathe it, savor it, and live it. The offshore forecast for the Jersey Shore weekend ahead from the Hudson to the Baltimore is looking far better than it has in some time. I know some folks are chomping at the bit to get back on the inshore mid-range bluefin grounds and, of course, the offshore yellowfin grounds with all the mahi at the fish pots everywhere in between. We'll know more after this weekend when folks get out there on the hunt if those pelagics are still around. I know the bluefin will still be there, and we'll just have to find out where the yellowfin are at this point at this stage of the game. Of course, you don't need a big 74-foot Viking this weekend to get out to the offshore grounds. It sure would be nice. I did receive a very cool video this week from my good friends down at Viking Yachts on the Bass River in New Gretna. A brand new 74 hits the water and will be on display later on this month in Fort Lauderdale. Just personally, it's so cool for me knowing that the greatest sport fishing boat in the world is made right here in the Garden State at the Viking facility right across from Allen's Dock on the Bass River. Oh, man. And you think about it, Leake, Cavalier, Post, Perrine, Hunt, as in Sammy Hunt, Durham, the first boat where George Washington crossed the Hudson River. All these great names in the course of American boat building history, and the Healy family continues that tradition on the Bass River with the Viking Yachts. This is a sneak peek at a beautiful boat that's built here in New Jersey with a look at inside the Viking facility, how these amazing vessels actually get made. Yeah, man can dream. And I'll be dreaming about stripers Friday into Saturday, as soon as my head hits the pillow, and somewhere on the beach with those northwests. I'd be there if I could, so hopefully you don't miss it. I look forward to learning more, and we'll see how bad or how good my predictions are when we bring you next week's video right here, the Fisherman Magazine and thefisherman.com.
We're extremely proud to announce another new model that is destined for greatness. The Viking 74. Hello everybody, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far on our new 74 Viking. It showcases all of the 60 years of boat building, everything that we've done to define this company and our products. We saw incredible success with our 72 building 75 of them over its 7-year history. But we will never stop designing, refining, and innovating. This boat is going to be the next game-changing sport fish between 70 and 80 feet. Our refined running surface combined with the advanced Viking propulsion system gives this boat a tremendous performance advantage. We just finished our first sea trials on the new 74, and it was at 45 knots two-way average. On the flybridge, you have a 6-inch raised platform at the helm for great forward visibility, and the aft visibility is phenomenal. The helm has flush-mounted displays, a console lounge with freezer storage, and split freezers forward. Some of the many highlights include a dedicated rod and tackle room, a larger cockpit, and a restyled flybridge. I look forward to seeing everybody in Fort Lauderdale, where we will debut this boat this month and see why it will be the most successful boat ever built between 70 and 80 feet.